Hannah Kelly's senior speech. We'd like to welcome her special guests who are here with us today, her parents, Charles Jr. and Tammy, her grandparents, Gloria and Charles Sr. Kelly, her great aunt, Jackie Pope, and her friend, Mackenzie Hill is with us. Please welcome them. I've had the pleasure of being a part of Hannah's advisory group for 3 years, but especially the pleasure of teaching her some math for the last 2 years, pre-calculus and AP statistics. I know Hannah as a very humorous and intelligent student who's very personable, thoughtful, and diligent with her peers and to her teachers. Hannah keeps a very busy extracurricular schedule here at Prep. She's a member of the varsity cheer team and has served as a captain. She's a valued member of our varsity tennis and track teams and participates in our student section club. Hannah is also a member of the Fellowship of Christian Students. Outside of Augusta Prep, Hannah is a member of the Augusta chapter of Jack and Jill of America, serving as team vice president. She's also part of the Rosa T. Beard Debutante Club and serves on their advisory board. She serves the food pantry at her church, the Church of Christ, Grace Street. She's also a member of Youth Leadership Augusta and Youth Leadership Georgia. With the little time that she has left, she enjoys traveling, hanging out with friends and family, and she really enjoys shopping. In AP statistics, we even surveyed and found out that she owns an excessive number of pairs of shoes. Please welcome Hannah to the stage.
First, I'd like to thank Mr. Galvin for being the best advisor over the past 3 years. Next, I'd like to thank what my parents call my village for always rallying around me and supporting me in everything I do. But most importantly, I'd like to thank my parents for everything they've done and all the sacrifices they made for me to get me where I am today. So this is Ellie. But that's also Ellie. But what could cause such a drastic difference in her moods? Well, simply put, she failed her stats quiz. But the most important part of this story is not really the fact that she failed her stats quiz. It's what did she do to cope with the fact that she failed her stats quiz? Well, she shopped. When coping with her stats quiz by shopping, Ellie performed, simply, retail therapy. And some of you might have your own understanding of what retail therapy is and the meaning behind it. So what exactly is retail therapy and why are we drawn to do it? According to Cambridge Dictionary, retail therapy is, quote, the act of buying things for yourself in order to feel better when you are unhappy, end quote. So yes, it's actually a real thing. But why do some of us turn to retail therapy when things in life go wrong? At first glance, shopping doesn't even seem to be a legitimate way to reduce stress. And how can something with such a simple definition be so complex? Cleveland Clinic has broken the reasons for retail therapy down into 2 main categories. 1, the release of happy hormones, and 2, a sense of control. Dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins are often called happy hormones. Dopamine is what's known as the brain's reward system, and it creates a feeling similar to that when you get a sticker on your bio quiz. And when feeling rewarded, the brain is wired to make that thing seem essential for survival, which results in excitement and more motivation to achieve a goal. Serotonin is known as a mood stabilizer, with its main function being to reduce anxiety and stabilizes a person's overall mood. While endorphins are the body's natural painkillers. There are over 20 different types of endorphins, but beta endorphins are exclusively released to block pain receptors on nerve cells, decreasing not only pain, but significantly alleviating stress. These 3 hormones work together to increase satisfaction feel an increased satisfaction from decision making. Having complete autonomy over a purchase helps to reassure them that they can, in fact, make their own decisions without outside influence, which not only fosters a sense of control, but also promotes self-worth. With this newfound control, they learn to stimulate distraction from the problem at hand, feeling like the longer they stay in this so-called position of power, the quote-unquote better things are going. Ultimately, obsessive with the control given to them by shopping. So now that we understand what retail therapy is and why we do it, what are the actual effects of retail therapy? After reading a study, actually a couple of studies, my favorite being the one conducted by Scott Rick, Beatrice Parra, and Catherine Burton over 3 experiments at the University of Michigan, concluded the following. So, the positive effects of retail therapy are the reduction of residual sadness, which is defined as the sadness that sticks around way after the primary cause is gone. Doing something fulfilling, which is mood improving, can release happy hormones, which I touched on previously, and creating a distraction by shifting an individual's focus from something positive, or from something negative to something positive. While, on the opposing side, retail therapy only provides a temporary fix to the issue, as it does not even address the underlying cause that's causing the individual to shop. And emotional dependence is another negative effect that comes with retail therapy, where the individual seems to only get satisfaction from the release of these happy hormones, and they're relying on shopping to cope with larger life challenges. And the most obvious and straightforward finding of the study by Rick et al. Is overspending, which can lead to many things, such as financial stress. Even if you want to know more about the negative impacts of overspending, you can ask Gracie. And even though some negative effects of retail therapy can be avoided, it's not entirely the consumer's fault. Not only do people turn to shopping as a way to cope, but retailers are also playing a role. They're known to use psychological tricks to get customers to spend more money, like putting things like essentials on the perimeters of the store, which causes you to walk the entire length of the store before you will actually get what you need. Someone in this audience, I don't know who, but I know someone, has signed up for a free trial and you forgot to cancel it, which is just falling into a trap. Free trials are just another way companies accumulate mass funds, because who actually remembers to cancel the subscription after your 7 days is up? Another way retailers wrangle in money is through BOGO, or buy one get one free, and things like free shipping, as well as putting higher priced items at eye level, which results in a person gravitating towards that product because it's what your eyes went on first. So, you're probably wondering, what can I do instead? Instead of running to shopping for some stress relief, here are some things you can do instead to shop mindfully and protect your pockets. First thing is trying activities that provide dopamine release. This can be exercise, reading, or whatever hobbies you tend to enjoy. Number 2 is the 24-hour rule, which I've actually found to be recommended by multiple credit unions. It's a strategy used over a 24-hour period, as it says in the name. After seeing something you want, you're supposed to reflect on it to see whether you actually want the item or if it's really just a moment of impulse. And number 3 might be my personal favorite and Grace's personal favorite, which is creating a monthly budget so you can still shop responsibly, but also being financially responsible. If you don't learn anything else from this speech, I want you to know one thing. Yes, retail therapy is real, and it's not just a term we hear floating around the senior lounge. And it's often turned to by individuals for a release of happy hormones and other positive effects. But it can also lead to overspending and emotional dependency. But don't get me wrong, I love shopping. There's probably nothing I love more than shopping, and if I didn't love shopping, I wouldn't be up here talking about it. But remember that not all shopping is bad, but it's important that you're mindful of how much, where, and what you're spending your money on. To my senior class, as we begin the next chapter of our lives, there are going to be things and situations that make you uncomfortable. But remember that things in life that make you the most uncomfortable are probably the things you need the most in life.